Hello, everyone. On today's podcast episode, I'm going to talk about celebrities and how people really how skewed the views of celebrities are, and how people actually think these celebrities are actually good looking. This I've seen so many videos, so many videos on TikTok where people just keep comparing celebrities and and their looks, and I have to tell you, man, people overvalue the looks of celebrities. But you have to understand people who, have you ever come across, someone tell you that a celebrity is good looking? And then when they show you the picture of them, you're like, you're disgusted. You're like, out of every celebrity you can call good looking, why are you calling this one good looking? You know, you can call every and any other celebrity, good looking. I'll probably agree with you. But why this one? Out of all the celebrities in the world, why are you calling this ugly one? The only one that I find ugly, you end up calling them good looking. Why? Do you know the reason why someone would call a celebrity good looking instead of ugly? When the truth is, most celebrities are average looking or below. Why? Because most of the human population is average looking or below. And celebrities, being part of the human population, also has to follow that rule. It's hard to find good looking people in this world. So most people you'll find is either average looking or ugly. So do not delude yourself into thinking celebrities are like the cream of the crop. People are looking for the most beautiful people to become, Hollywood actors or, musicians or, ballet, actors and things like that. No. I mean, no, not ballet. What do you call that thing? Ballet dancers and, opera actors, No. Whatever, the reason why people think call celebrities good looking is the same, first of all, there's the factor of, being gaslit. When a lot of people call someone good looking, after a while, your mind, your mind starts to fall for that placebo effect where you start to see the ugly person as good looking, even though they're ugly. Your mind starts to, when a bunch of people start calling someone who's ugly good looking, they'll trick you into thinking the person is good looking. You can be easily tricked into thinking someone's good looking when many people call it good looking. And do you know why many people call someone good looking? The same reason why, no one will ever open their mouth and call their family members ugly. You know, it's hard for you to call your family member ugly. You know why? Because you respect your family members. Because you respect your family members, it's hard to call people you respect ugly. And that's true with celebrities as well. It's hard for you to call a celebrity, it's hard for a fan of a celebrity to call them ugly because celebrities have built, a foundation of respect, for themselves through their, talents. Celebrities all, each celebrity has their own talent, their own field of expertise, and these fans, after a while, revere them so much that it's hard for them to actually see them as ugly. It's hard for them to actually, even call them ugly. Even if they do see them as ugly, it's hard for them to just open their mouth and just start mocking them for being ugly. Or if anyone ever asks them a question, is your favorite celebrity ugly? Your highest chance, there's a high chance if you actually like that celebrity, if you actually respect that celebrity, is to say no, he's not ugly. Not because you don't think it's ugly, the person is ugly, but because you don't want people to know. You don't want to disrespect. It's hard to disrespect your favorite celebrity, and it's hard to watch someone else disrespect your favorite celebrity as well. And being called ugly is very disrespectful. Even if it's true, it is still very disrespectful. This is why there's so many celebrities out there that you're always baffled why people just keep calling them good looking, good looking. This is the hottest celebrity around, and then you look at them, you're like, what are you guys even looking at? What are you guys even looking at? Are you looking at the same person I'm looking at? You know, the reason why all these people are doing that is because these are the celebrities they respect. It's hard to call your parents ugly. It's almost impossible for most people to call their parents ugly unless they hate their parents. If you hate your parents, then it's the opposite. You hate them, so you may not be telling an accurate story. When you hate your parents and you call them ugly, it may either be the truth or you're because you don't like your parents. So it's so hard for a fan of a celebrity to call the celebrity they like ugly because they respect them way too much. So if you ever fall for that, if you ever in that situation, or you ever notice that phenomenon where a lot of people keep calling these ugly celebrities or these average looking, most celebrities are average looking. I won't say they're ugly. It's hard to call someone ugly when they actually aren't. But most celebrities are average. You never really see them as the cream of the crop. But there's no way you can just call them good looking for no reason. So because when they don't look any better than the people their age, around people around their age group. You just walk in the mall and you see the most average. They look just like the people you see at the mall. The only reason why they stand out is because you respect them more. The people that you come across at the mall, the people you come across as at a hockey game or a college football game, if you go to the stadium themselves, is that the difference between the two of them is that the people you see on a daily basis, you don't respect them as much. They're just random strangers. So even if they're good looking, you don't pay attention to their good looks. But your celebrity, you don't pay attention. Not only do you not pay attention to their good looks, even if you do pay attention to their good looks, because you don't respect them as much, it's easier for you to mock them for being ugly. Even if they're not ugly, you can just mock them you can call them ugly all you want because there's no respect for them. You don't respect these people. But celebrities, because you respect celebrity, even if they're the ugliest person on earth, it's hard for you to open your mouth. If it's your favorite celebrity, it's hard for you to open your mouth and tell people, hey, this celebrity is ugly, yes. If someone ever mocks your favorite celebrity, someone that's truly changed your life, your favorite musician that's truly changed your life, that's truly touched your life, man. Someone you respect very much. If someone ever calls that person ugly, it hurts you. It makes you angry. So this is something you have to be careful of. Do not mock people's celebrities in front of them. If the more the person respects the celebrity, the more violent they become. The more protective they are of that celebrity. You know. So if you ever come across this phenomenon of seeing celebrities being called good looking, being called oh the hottest man on earth, the hottest woman on earth, and you look at them, being someone who doesn't even know that celebrity, it works better if you don't know the celebrity. That's usually how it happens. When you know the celebrity and you tend to respect them more than random celebrities that you don't know of. The random celebrities that you don't know of, you're not in their field of influence. You don't listen to their movies. You don't listen to their music. You don't watch their movies. You're not interested in whatever talents in the field they're talented in. If you're not interested in the field they're talented in, and their fans come out and tell you, hey, this guy's good looking, this woman's beautiful. That's usually when it happens, when your mind just zones out, like, what? This person, out of everybody, you call this person good looking? It always happens when when someone, if someone a fan of a celebrity comes to you and they just bring out the random stranger that you've never met before, you have no respect for, and you just start calling them good looking in front of your very eyes. You always get baffled, like, what? Not this person, man. You have to look somewhere else. If you want to look for good looking people, look elsewhere. You shouldn't be looking at this person when you say the word good looking. You should be looking at someone else, because this person isn't even close. It's not even close to the word good, much less looking. So look elsewhere and figure out your eyes, man. There's something wrong with your eyes. But the truth is, do not call someone favorite celebrity ugly in front of them. If you don't want to argue, if you don't want to fight with them, if you don't want to turn it into their enemy, these guys revere these celebrities, man. These men or women revere these celebrities, and you have to really be careful around people, who believe their celebrities are good looking. Not really because the celebrity is actually good looking, but because they respect the celebrity so much. They don't want you to look down on them. Sometimes you want to show your favorite celebrity, your most respected person to your friends. And the best way to show your respected person to your friends is to call them good looking. To make to not to show all the good points of them. And calling your favorite celebrity ugly in front of your friends, you're already disrespecting the celebrity, right from the very get go. How do you expect your friend to ever like that celebrity if you open your mouth the first time you introduce your celebrity to your friend, your most respected celebrity to your friend? You say, "Hey, look at this ugly celebrity that I like. This is my favorite celebrity. Isn't he ugly? Why would your friend even care about someone you just mocked for being ugly? So you can never just introduce your favorite celebrity to your friends and just put them on blast like that, and just call them ugly for no reason, So you got to call them, you got to make them look good, Hopefully your friend will like them, like him or her, and you guys, can share the same hobby. So that's what if you ever find yourself in that scenario where the person is, the celebrity is being called names, being given traits they don't have, like quiet, calm, wise, smart, and you look at the person and you realize, where is this person? I don't see a smart person here. I don't see a tall person here. I don't see a good looking person here. You know, just know that because it's out of respect. There's a feeling of it. When you revere someone so much, it's hard for you to actually see them as it's hard for you to see them as ugly. Even if you do notice that they're ugly, it's hard for you to actually, open your mouth and call them ugly in front of your friends or family members. Just like it's hard for you to open your mouth and call your family members ugly in front of random strangers. Maybe amongst your old amongst your family members themselves, you can call your family member ugly to himself, to that person just to mock him. Like your brother, you can call him ugly just to mock him, but the truth is, it's hard for you. It's hard for you to call someone you respect, ugly in front of others. So that's what you just got to think about. But that's what I've been thinking about, these days. So have a great day, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.